He watched the signal regardless. There was a small flow of traffic on the road. It moved at a steady pace, but much slower than the speed limit would normally allow. It was impossible for anyone to drive fast on this road, even if it had been empty. It was like a maze or video game. There were a lot of abandoned cars just left on the road, not to mention all the dead animals. Animals dead from it. The phenomenon. They weren't roadkill, James could tell. Considering the highway circumstances, he was cruising pretty well when he saw the man on the side of the road. He was an older man, wearing a baseball cap and waving out for a ride, trying to flag someone down. It was nearly midnight. He stood behind an old beat-up car, a big one, a duffel bag at his feet. The man was probably someone's grandfather. He could have been James's grandfather. As everyone else drove by, James slowed down, put on his turn signal, lifted his hand to alert the gentleman he was stopping, and finally pulled to the berm of the road. It possibly wasn't the best idea. Authorities were warning people not to stop because of marauders and such. But this was an old man, and he certainly wasn't safe. James pulled in front of the disabled car and placed on his blinkers. They were the only lights going, and they reflected off of the vintage Oldsmobile. He looked in his side mirror and could see the old man. James watched as he bent down for his bag. Hearing a long honk of a horn, James looked ahead. It was probably one of those aggressive drivers again. "What the heck, dude?" James said. "Chill out." Shaking his head, he realized the old man should have been at his car. What was taking him so long? James thought, and looked again at his side view mirror. The man was gone. James reached over, opening the side door, figuring he was coming up that side of the car. Smart. Walking on a dark highway wasn't a good idea. He pushed the door open wide enough for the old man to get in. But he never came. There was silence. Looking again in his mirror, James saw nothing. He double-checked to make sure he could open his door that no cars were coming, then stepped out of the car. "Hello?" he called out, walking toward the beat-up Oldsmobile. He saw the duffel bag on the side of the road. No old man. Pulling his phone from his pocket, he turned on the built-in flashlight. All kinds of things ran through his mind. Did the man fall? Have a heart attack? There had been some reports of people doing bad things. He hoped some trap wasn't set for him on the road. Just as he reached the end of the Oldsmobile where the bag was, he heard the slam of a car door, followed quickly by the screech of tires. James spun around and stumbled back in shock as he watched someone speed off in his car. "No!" James screamed. He started to chase it, but what use was there? The old man must have set him up, played on his good Samaritan nature, then stole his car. Authorities warned people about that. Did James listen? No. Angry about it and at himself, James, furious, kicked out and slammed his foot into the Oldsmobile. That hurt. The pain from his foot ricocheted up his leg, causing him to drop his phone as he reached down. Surely he broke a toe or something. He cursed out, loudly and rapidly, every bad word he could think of as he hopped about, waiting for the pain to wane. When it did, he was glad his phone wasn't broken. At least, he didn't think it was. He could see the beam of light from the flashlight shooting up at him. He bent down and grabbed it. When he lifted it, he saw it. The blood on the duffel bag. Slowly, light outward, James walked to the back of the car. The light from his phone reflected off of the pile of a red, mushy substance. In the dark, it was hard to tell, but it looked like remains.